Welcome back to Send Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC, and then we're going to start with the thumbnail I left you guys last night, right? Target was 6,000, right? So we're not quite there yet at 6,000, but we hit like our medium-term target of 5850 on the dot, right? So if you remember well, 5850 after 56 was the next target, and then we hit that on Binance just about 5844, right? So and our target also, like in the morning, under the Telegram group, was to be trading just about 5710 to 5795, right? So and then we were expecting BTC to be trading just about 5710 to 5795, like the next 6 to 10 hours, right? So and then and I said, like, we're going to be getting a lot of volatility the last 2 hours of the day, right? So we got like 3 hours left, and then BTC is almost like starting to be trading like a very volatile, be trading just about like 57.95, and then the volatility is increasing. So we're going to talk about all those little details and then see where we're going next, right? Because it is time to be either taking profit or time to be looking for more bullishness from BTC, right? So keep that in mind. So we're gonna start off with the coin market cap, and then the current price of BTC just about let's refresh it, just about 5,800 on according to a coin market cap, but pretty close to Binance, just about 57.95, right? BTC up 5%. Ethereum doing very well, just about 4% up, right? So that's great. Litecoin doing extremely well. I haven't taken a look at Litecoin all day today for some reason. I mean, I only took a look at it versus BTC. So EOS is doing well. So the market is starting to pick up, right? So we've seen like a couple 5 to 10% move to the upside. So that's a great news, right? At least for the short term. XRP is still at 30 cents. So we got a big volume, like almost like 60 billion. So maybe it is time for the altcoin to start moving to the upside. So BTC dominance just about 55%, right? So we got like plenty of room to go, guys. So let's take a look at the price action of BTC, right? So as we talked about last time, right, we're going to start with this flat correction, and then we compare this flat correction just about this area with Litecoin, right? We say Litecoin gave us this pattern to recognize like the next like a bull trend for BTC. If you pay clear attention to Litecoin, you know exactly what BTC is going to be doing, so keep that in mind. So this is the that's the daily time frame. It is actually looking like a 4-hour time frame because it is so bullish, guys. So keep that in mind. Let me open up the chat room, see if you guys have any question before I move to the not I move to the upside, but before I move to the next topic. BTC is extremely bullish, so just keep that in mind. I keep saying it like the last couple of weeks. People thought like we're about to get to 2,500, but it is extremely bullish. So you better pay clear attention to BTC. So we got about 8 people watching. So hey, what's up, Spencer? What's up, Bit? What's up, Sunny, Humi? So thank you for tuning in. So we hit our target of 5,800. So I'm just gonna remove everything so we can start with a fresh chart, right? So because if you're pretty constant, man, you don't have to keep your chart very dirty. So that's the thing. So first of all, right, we talked about this flat correction just about this area, right? We say BTC making this move just about this area, and that's a it is a continuation pattern. And then altcoin are making it to the downside, right? Altcoin, they drop to the downside, give you like a nice corrective move. You're thinking like it's a 1 2 3 waves, and then they just drop to the downside. So keep that in mind, right? So if BTC is doing it to the opposite side, right? BTC is doing it basically to the opposite side. Altcoin are doing it to the downside. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term, right? So we just about 77. Target is to be trading just about 57.10 to 57.95 until like the last 2 to 3 hours of the day, and then the volatility going to be increasing, at least for the short term, right? So let's move on to the 4-hour time frame. Well, not 4 hour, but the 45 minutes time frame, right? The 45 minutes time frame is very useful. Most people don't like to use it, but it is very useful, right? So because like I told you guys like last time, you know, whenever you see the 45 minutes like double bottom or at least get back to this area, it is time to, you know, get ready. And then because, you know, BTC gonna get back to the opposite direction. I said it like I've been saying it like the last 2 weeks, so you guys gotta remember by now, right? You gotta know that's a good strategy, at least to use, right? So you look for, you know, retest, you know, look for a retest, right? And then a move to the upside. So what we're looking for, at least, right, for the short term, I'm looking for BTC to give us this move and then come back down this area. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we're gonna see some selling pressure at least for the short term, right? Because the 45 minutes doesn't like last too long in this range, right? Even like back in like April the 1st, if you go back, take a look at April 1st, right? This move to the upside, it didn't last, you know, in this area like forever. So you got to keep that in mind, right? So you got to keep that in mind. We're going to get some correction just about this area. So keep that in mind. So, and then most people are going to be calling for a dump. So you got to know, you got to anticipate what's going to be, you know, what we're going to be seeing at least for the short term, at least so you can get a, you know, so you can, you know, have your action in place at least for the short term, right? So keep that in mind. We talked about the 45 minutes about to turn bearish again, and then the flat correction we're anticipating, we might not even get it. So we might not even get it. So I'm anticipating a retest of this 5850, but it depends on the volatility of the, you know, the next 3 to 4 hours, because, you know, I'm not sure like if we even gonna get back to a 5850, right? 5844 to 5850, because I'm anticipating this flat correction, right? That's a, you know, that's what I'm anticipating. You got your 3-way move to the upside, downside, and you could be getting this move, a triple top, a reversal just about this area, and then come back, retest this 50 EMA on the 45 minutes, right? So keep that in mind. Retest of this 50 EMA gonna take us just about a 3 to 4% down, right? So seeing BTC drop 3 to 4%, and then most people are gonna be calling the dump is here. So at least you're not gonna know at least you're gonna, you know, anticipate what's going to be happening in case we get this 3 to 4% drop to the downside just about this area. Because I cannot say like in advance where the 50 EMA going to be at, because, you know, price going to be changing constantly, right? So you're looking at like 56. Let's anticipate just about 56. Let's say 56.50, right? Because it is going to be moving very fast, but I don't think it's going to get to this area, right? Because, you know, you gotta be rational also, right? So 58.50 to 56.50 to you know, 56.20 in that range, right? Let's see, 56. That's just about 2.5 drop. It's not even that much from the current price if you just want to wait for it. But if you, let's say you think like BTC gonna get to 58.50, you know, that's a 3.5 drop, 3.5% drop. So it doesn't worth it, right? So it doesn't worth it. So keep that in mind at least for the short term, right? Flat correction, right? Just like that. Even if you're gonna get there, right? So keep that in mind. So the bearish momentum, we're starting to anticipate some sell-off at least for the short term. Let's go back to the weekly chart. Hey, what's up, Ovidio? Hey, what's up, Ramadan? No, Ramadan, not Ramadan. Ramadan. So you take a look at the weekly chart. I said it like it is extremely bullish. So guys, so a drop the next couple of days, it doesn't mean like the bullishness gonna be changing, but we're still gonna have to be, you know, because you got to remember, right, the market even changed structure, you know, the last minute of the day. You know, the whole structure of the market can change the last minute of the day. So if you remember, like when BTC was trying to fight like 53.37, like it meant a lot, like why we like pushed to the upside. That 53.37 on the 4-hour time frame, I have to show you guys, right? Because before we pushed to the upside, we kind of struggled a lot, like breaking this area, just about this area. That was like April 30th, right? I think just about like just about 7 p.m, right? you know, the last 2 hours, like we were able to close just about like a 30, you know, 53.37. So it means a lot, right? So if BTC wasn't able to close at or above like 53.37, we could be like facing to the downside. But you know, market structure changed, you know, a lot. So you cannot be like always like looking, you know, looking bullish. So you have to keep that in mind, at least for the short term. But going back to the weekly, it is actually extremely bullish. The RSI is not, you know, is not looking bad, just about 63. Most people are looking forward to sell at 62, so they're still not selling, right? So as not BTC drop like 2%, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna be panicking. So most people, you know, were saying like if the RSI get like to 58, blah blah blah, they're gonna be selling. So let's see if they're gonna be selling, right? Because you know, BTC is only up like 5.7% the last, you know, it's not even that much. So unless like you own like, you know, plenty of BTC, so keep that in mind. So on the weekly time frame, I'm looking for BTC at least to close above this 50 MA, which is currently just about 54.45, right? So it closed above like 5500. It'll be great, man. Like not to be greedy, on the daily time frame it'll look bad, but on the bigger picture, it is a, you know, it is a good move, guys. It is a great move on the bigger picture, right? So even if BTC dropped like to 5500 before Sunday, you know, we still like, you know, got plenty of momentum to go. So let's go to Bitstamp, because the weekly time frame on Bitstamp looks great, guys. It looks great. So let me remove everything. We discussed last time the type of pattern we got on the weekly time frame, right? So we said BTC is making this type of flag, right, just about this area. So and then what we're anticipating, a 1-to-1 extension. So and a 1-to-1 extension, just to be conservative, just to take this move, this $1,000 move, right, just to be conservative, you know, gonna take us just about like 6,500, right? That's how I targeted 6,500. Somebody asked me why you targeted 6,500 on your video. So based on what? That's what I based on the uptrend, right? So I'm targeting 6,500 because of this move. So it doesn't mean like we're gonna get it, but it is a possible scenario. So you got to keep that in mind. We're just looking at scenario, we're not predicting, we're just analyzing what could happen, right? We're gonna get like 2 to 3 scenarios, and maybe one of them gonna, you know, going to be completed. So keep that in mind, at least, right? So other scenarios, you know, they just gonna have to wait for next possible scenario. So but that's how I targeted like a, you know, a 1-to-1 extension, targeted you know, 6,500 at least for the short term. The Bitstamp chart is extremely bullish. You take a look at the RSI, you see how it is facing to the upside. So it is not giving us any sign of reversal pattern, right? So we're all gonna take a look at the bullishness of BTC, because BTC is extremely bullish, guys. It is extremely bullish on the bigger picture. So keep that in mind. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Hey, you're welcome, man. Hey, what's up, Spencer? Yeah, VChain is holding strong, but we're gonna take a look at VChain. It's gonna be a short live stream, so if you guys have like any coin you want to talk about, we're just gonna talk about those coins, and then I'm gonna call it a day, because I might not be going live tonight. So I just want to wrap it up before the weekend. So the bullishness of BTC is kind of like extreme, guys. It is very bullish, guys. I don't see any sign of bearishness. On the lower time frame, I just described to you like a, you know, 2 to 3% drop. And if it is like more than 2 to 3% drop, we're gonna reassess our judgment. But that's only, you know, bearishness I see on BTC coming back down to like a 54. I mean, just about like a, I think like 55. We say like 55 in that range, right? So 55, 50 in that range. So keep that in mind, right? On the weekly time frame, so to come back to 55, 50. And close above this area. On the lower time frame, we're looking for 56.50, right? So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. So we go back to the monthly time frame. So we talk about the lower time frame, we talk about the weekly. Now let's take a look at the monthly. It's only 2 days into the month, right? So the monthly is already giving us a U-turn. Most people, you know, try to compare the bull market of the bull market of 2015, and then the bear market of 2015, and then the 2018, 2019. You take a look at this comparison, guys. It's nothing comparable to these two, guys. So BTC did not make this move back, back in 2015. You see, this move is too extended on the monthly, so it is too extended, to be comparable to this move. So you don't have anything like this, guys. You don't have anything like this. So keep that in mind. I don't see BTC double bottoming this way, right? I don't see it. But if like we get a possible scenario to double bottom, we just gonna reassess our judgment, right? So you gotta keep in mind, right? We do not control the market, we just analyze the market. So what I be saying today might be completely different to what I'm gonna say tomorrow, because if the market like turned bearish, we got a bad news, a 20 to 25% dump, I cannot say like we're bullish. So you gotta keep that in mind also. So let's take a look at the stochastic. Yeah, Bitstamp weekly is extremely bullish, guys. Extremely bullish. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at ICX. What's up, BIT? BIT. Let's take a look at the stochastic. I'm using TradingView, so if you don't know TradingView, just type TradingView, on your browser, and then it's gonna take you there. You just have to sign up for free, and then if you want like extra stuff, you can pay additional fees. But for a newbie, you don't need any additional fees. You just need to get this sample stuff. You can use up to like 3 indicators, so that's good enough for you if you if you're new. So you take a look at the stochastic. Like I said last time, right? We're gonna get back to that area. So you take a look at the weekly stochastic. Last time we talked about it, right? It was kind of we say like it's gonna be flat, so we got so much room to go, guys. It's not even flat yet, it just jumped back up, right? So we got so much room to go. It is gonna push to the upside, and then it's gonna remain flat for a couple of days, for a couple of weeks, and then be moving sideways. You take a look at the monthly stochastic. It is just about this area. So this divergence, most people are not paying attention to it. Your monthly is just about this area, right? And then your weekly is just about this area. So what do you expect, right? You expect like at some point the monthly the bigger time frame gonna join the lower time frame. So that's the only thing you can expect, right? Otherwise, we could be like, the monthly could be in this area forever, and then the weekly gonna drop. So that's extremely bearish, guys. That's extremely bearish. And then if you go back to back in 2015, right? That's just about like 2015. That's March 2015, right? That's where the stochastic was, right? Just about this area, like March 15, right? So March, April, right? The stochastic was at the exact same area, right? March, April, May. So you take a look at the same exact area. Also, you take a look at the weekly. You take a look at the weekly back in like go back to March 2018. You take a look at the weekly on the stochastic. The weekly stochastic was actually just about this area, right? It was actually like very, very low compared to like to this area, right? It's not even like that area. So that's how bullish like BTC is. You got your monthly at the bottom, your weekly at the top. So back in March 2015, we were still like lagging to the downside. So we were still lagging to the downside. But take a look at the current price action. What we got now? You got your monthly stochastic just about this area, your weekly just about that area. That is extremely bullish, guys. It is not the same scenario, back in 2015. So you gotta keep that in mind, at least for the short term. At least for the short term, you gotta keep that in mind. So Bitfinex is actually like actually at the 6,000, but the other exchanges, they kind of like lagging behind, right? At least for the short term, but they're gonna keep up. They're gonna keep up later on, right? So they're gonna keep up later on. Let's go back to 45. The 45 is still trying to complete this move, so expect like a retest of 5800, right? It is gonna try to push to the upside, at least for the short term, right? It is going to try to push to the upside, but the overall structure, it is like, if like we don't break this 5800, with the R side like facing to the downside, we most likely going to come back to the 58. That's the most probable scenario right now. So if you want to be looking for a cheaper BTC, so if you're looking for a cheaper BTC, is wait just about the 58 to wait for the support. It's no need to be in rush. So because you're going to be panicking as soon as you see like a 1 to 2% drop, at least for the short term. Tradingview.com. Yeah, thank you Bit. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the VChain. So if you guys don't have any altcoin you guys want to review or any question about BTC, we're just going to call it a day, right? So let's take a look at VChain. VChain is looking so messy. Let's take a look at the daily. Okay. You take a look at VChain, our target was a 0.786. We came back down exactly at 0.786, right? And then but we got a fake out now because we got this big push to the upside on the lower time frame. On the lower time frame, we got this big push to the upside and a flag, but VChain weren't able to like continue the uptrend, right? So let's take a look at the lower time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we got this push, right? Like when VChain was just about this area, we say VChain gonna push to the upside, make a flag, right? So we pushed to the upside, got this flag just about this area, but now it seems like we're gonna be breaking to the downside, but it is holding pretty strong, right? It is holding pretty strong. You just have to be very careful because as soon as we get back to this area, we're not gonna hold it, right? We're just gonna have to drop to the downside, and our side gonna get oversold again, right? So if like VChain doesn't hold this area of 113, 115, that was our target actually, right, on the long term, right? If you guys remember, like when I was talking about VChain, so VChain was just about this area, and I said like wait for VChain to come back down to 115, right, 113 range. So you can go back and play that video. So everything you're getting is live, so it's not like everything you're getting is live. So we can talk about any coin. Everything you're getting is live. So our target was 0.786. We came back exactly at 0.786. Now we're double bottoming. So let's see if that flag is failing. We just have to hold strong. Otherwise, we're just gonna retest this area of $100, not $100, but 100 sats. So keep that in mind, right? So it has to hold strong. Otherwise, we're gonna come back. Have to come back and retest it, right? Because BTC might be very strong after we break 58.50, and then all these alts, they're gonna keep like dragging to the downside. So your dollar volume might be going up depending how VChain going to be dropping versus BTC. Let's say VChain is just moving sideways versus BTC, your portfolio gonna be increasing in dollar value at least, right? So keep that in mind. So keep that in mind at least for the short term. Let's go ahead and take a look at ICX. If I believe ICX is breaking to the downside below 6,000, target was 628, right? We got to 628, but you can see like it is always good to look for a reversal pattern. Even if you like price get to your target, you don't want to go all in, like go in like maybe like 3 to 5% and wait for lower prices, because we don't have any other support right now. I don't think this support gonna hold. That's the same exact support at 0.786, which is 6,200, right? Just about 6,200. So but most likely we're gonna retest 500 sats in that range. Let's say 550 to 500, give or take, right? So and then you're gonna get plenty of time to accumulate. So it's not just gonna make a V shape, right? So because this move is I said like ICX going to be dropping, since ICX was like almost 750, right? I mean 7,500, right? Not 750, 7,500 sats. So you take a look at it, it is actually, I'm holding some ICX, but for the long term, right? So it is actually like almost 30%, right? So I could have increased my ICX too by 30% by selling it into BTC and then buying it back in this area. So, but let's say you want to increase your ICX, you can see like, you know, that's another 10% drop. You can increase your ICX just by buying BTC and wait for ICX to drop versus BTC, and then you know, you increase it by 10%. You don't even have to buy those 10%. You can just take profits and, you know, cash out, stuff like that. I'm not advising you, but you know how it works, so keep that in mind. So let's take a look at strats. Strats, we double bottoming actually. Let's take a look at it. We're not double bottoming because, you know, but this week I don't want to count it, so hopefully we're not gonna get to this area, so which is just about 54 sats. It'll be really bad. So the current price is just like yeah, 14,000, right, in that range. So 1450 in that range, right? 1451 on Binance, right? So you know, it is almost like another 60% or something like that, like 95% drop. So I don't count this this week to the downside, but if, like, let's say we ever get to that area, it'll be really bad. But the good thing about Stratus, like, we're getting a nice you know, W shape just about this area of the R side, so we could be anticipating a, you know, reversal just about this area, a fake out, a push to the upside. So I'm anticipating like Stratus to give us like a very explosive move after we complete this pattern. This pattern, you know, is basically like similar to a Tron, like before Tron, like, you know, got that big push to the upside. So it is very similar to a Tron, XLM, I think ADA also. So, but I'm not sure. I have to double check. And ZILLIQA also, they made the same exact pattern. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. So look for, you know, I wouldn't be in a hurry with Stratus. I would just be accumulating. So, and then you know, once you get confirmation, you can because, you know, if you buy like 5% of your buy order, you know, every time you buy, you just buy 5% of whatever, you know, your buy order, whatever left to your buy order. You're never gonna run out of fund, right? I don't know if you understand what I mean. So if you have like $100, you wanna buy, like, let's say you wanna buy $100 worth of Stratus, you just buy $5, right, the first time. Next time you come back, you're not gonna buy $5. You just buy like 5% of 95, right? So you're gonna get like roughly like, you know, 90 point something, right? And the next time you know, do the same, and so on and so on. So you're never gonna run out of fund, right? So keep that in mind. So let's take a look at we already talked about ICX, Stratus, let's VeChain, XRP, Tron. Let's go ahead and start off with Tron. Tron, our target is 390, if I believe. Tron BTC. Hey, what's up, Goran? Make sure to hit the like and subscribe, man. I never seen your name in the chat room. So, and then we're gonna talk about Bitcoin Cash also. You take a look at Tron. Our target is 390 to start accumulating at least, right? So slowly, not heavily. So keep that in mind. It is not a financial advice. So slowly, not heavily. So you take a look at Tron. Same exact pattern with a Stratus. So you can see it, right? So same exact pattern with Stratus. So, you know, we got this move. So look for Tron also to reverse, break this. It's gonna make a very impulse wave. Like when, you know, altcoin are ready to get out of this area, they're gonna make a very impulse wave. They're not gonna be dragging like this. Like they're gonna make a very impulse wave. This one is going to be the fake out. If you missed it, you just have to wait, man. Just have to wait. Don't rush. Don't rush. At least for the short term. So don't rush. But Tron, look for a you know, complete you know, reversal pattern. So not to be in rush. So the R side is facing to the downside. Wait for a retest, or, you know, a big volume to be coming in, at least for the short term. So we almost at the target of 390. You know, I put this target like last week, I believe, right? So as soon as we break this area of 0.618, I said like we head into this area. So it doesn't have to be accurate, but it is a good, you know, area to start accumulating. It is a good area to start accumulating, because even if you don't get like a, you know, 50 to 40% move to the upside, you're going to be getting those, you know, 10 to 15% every now and then, because you could anticipate like a sideways correction, just like that, just like Stratus and I think like a wave, right? You know, this sideways correction, and this sideways correction going to be like, you know, 10 to 15% move up and down, right? So you just get your channel. So you just don't know what is it gonna do. So you just, you know, be ready. You just want to be ready for all these scenarios. Get your channel, and then every time you touch the bottom, you buy. Touch the top, you sell. Buy, sell. So you can get 50% move just by, you know, buying and selling on this channel, swing trading. So let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash. Let's take a look at the dollar value first, because it is quite interesting what we talked about. For Bitcoin Cash, you know, as you can see, like it is quite amazing, right? So if you go back and watch one of my previous, I think it was last week, when I said like Bitcoin going to 10K, right? So I said like the same video, I said Bitcoin Cash going to be coming back down to 233, right? We came exactly down, we came exactly at a 231, and then got support from the 50 EMA. So I was expecting also the 50 EMA to support. So a combination of a fib level, which are a fib level with the 50 EMA, it is pretty powerful. So keep that in mind. So, but it doesn't mean like we're gonna be reversing, because it could be like a pattern continuation. If like we don't get to the top, we're just gonna get this ABC correction. You have to go to the lower time frame. Most alt, right, gotta remember, all the rest of the alt, they made this pattern just about this area. You know, they made this ABC correction. So if you like, let's say we don't get a wave number 5, just wait for the next fib level, just get out. So if you don't get like wave number 5 just about this area, it is time to get out. So you don't need to do anything. It is a pattern continuation. So the drop going to be continuing just like this, right? Just like that. So don't try to force the counting. Like most people, they're gonna be like, oh, and Elliott waves. They were like 1, 2, 3, and then trying to force it, and it is not a, you know, it is not a 5-way structure. You don't try to force something that is not there. So that's why, you know, I barely ever count like a Elliott wave, like 5-way structure, stuff like that, because sometimes it's not there. Like it's not there. I mean, it's not there. Most people are trying to force it to count it, but it's not there. It's not even there. So trying to get your 5, if you don't find it, use your 3-wave and expect like a, you know, more further sell-off. So expect more further sell-off. It is looking strong. It is looking strong. We hit our target of 233. That's good. It is, you know, get big support from 50 EMA. So look for further continuation, right? Look for further continuation. If you don't get it, get out and wait for you know, another fib level. And I would be anticipating like a bigger drop from Bitcoin Cash if that's the case, right? Because, you know, I targeted like just this move, and I targeted 233. I just took this April 1st move. That's the only move I took, right? Because that's the most recent impulse wave. So, but let's say you want to get this wave, you know, you would be looking at just about another, you know, $200, right? Almost another 30% drop. So that's a lot. So you have to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. It doesn't mean like it's bearish, but keep that in mind. You got to get, you know, that wave, you know, they push to the upside and retest this area at least. So otherwise the R side is not, it's not looking bad, right? It's not looking bad. It's not looking bad at all. So it's not looking bad. So not looking bad. And that's exactly what we said also on the R side. Like the only way I can see like a Bitcoin Cash, you have to go back and watch that video, right? I think it was let me show you. I'm not sure if that is it. I gotta get the title of the video so I can show you which one is it. It's just about this area, right? So let's see what the date. I say Bitcoin even look more bullish than you know, what you guys think, right? So I say Bitcoin even look more explosive than what you think. That's the same video I said talked about a Bitcoin Cash, like you know, coming back down to that area. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. So let's move back to Bitcoin Cash. So So we already talked about Bitcoin Cash. So look for a further move. If you don't get it, you know, come back down to this area of you know, low to $100. So at least for the short term. So if you don't get it, come back down. You don't need to rush it. So let's move on to XRP. Let's move on to XRP, at least for the short term, right? And see XRP. Excuse me. Let's first talk about a Bitcoin Cash, a BTC. Okay, Bitcoin Cash ABC, same target. We talked about it last night, right? We got the same target on the you know, on the versus BTC. So you have to be very careful because the dollar is looking extremely bullish, but the BTC value, you know, is very undecided. Right? We got a big push to the upside. We could just get this three-wave corrective move I was talking about, right? So we get another rejection just about this area, right? So a further, you know, sell off to the downside just about this area. So keep that in mind. It doesn't mean like Bitcoin Cash is gonna go to $200, but if BTC like pushing to the upside, Bitcoin Cash might not get back to that fib level, because you have to look at both scenarios. So the dollar value of Bitcoin Cash also depend on the, you know, the value of BTC. So you have to keep that in mind, at least for the short term. So if like we get rejection, and I think we're gonna get a rejection, because this wave just about this area is kind of like a straight no. On a daily time frame, it is like a straight down. It doesn't have any like an impulse wave to the opposite direction. So, and we're not going to get to this area just like that. And Bitcoin Cash not going to make like a V shape. So it's nothing against Bitcoin Cash, but I'm just like analyzing the you know, the chart, you know, regardless of which coin it is. I'm just saying Bitcoin Cash because, you know, that's the name. But you know, I don't see like a V shape. We're not going to get this V shape. So we already got one in here, got rejection. You know, the most probable scenario, you know, is this move, just about there. And that's the most probable scenario. I'm just going to leave it in here, and then we're going to see how it's going to play out. I was pretty bearish on ADA when ADA was just about this area. I had the same pattern, and I think like a Bitcoin Cash is on the way of making the same pattern also, because we don't have any support at a 0.618. So it's no reason why Bitcoin Cash should be like a reversing from this area. We don't have any support. It's just because like most traders, you know, put their buy orders just about this area. So that's why the price pushed back to the upside. But the, you know, the most probable area of support is this area, just about this area. So just about 0.04, right, in that range, 0.04 to 0.039 in that range, right? So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. But we're gonna see. So we're gonna see. All right, let's move on to, hey, what's up, Alan? Thank you for tuning in, man. I kind of started early today because, you know, I'm trying to go out of town. So, and I don't wanna be making live stream like you know, when I'm tired. So sometimes I get very tired and I'm trying to force it. So let's move on to XRP. Okay, who asked about Bitcoin Cash again? Okay, hopefully I answer your question about Bitcoin Cash. So take a look at XRP. We still are struggling just about this area. Got big rejection from like 5100. That's a good sign, but not enough. So it's not enough, right? You remember we talked about XRP, and then I said like it's no need to be in rush, man. When XRP wants to go up, you can't do anything about it. So you're gonna wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you're gonna see XRP price like very explosive, and then you'll be like, man, I didn't buy at this level. So the best thing to do is accumulate slowly. No need to rush, guys. No need to rush, because the market is here, you know, for the next like, you know, 50 to 100 years. So you cannot get rich like in 1 to 2 days like I'm trying to do. So and then you're gonna get wrecked. So just accumulate, guys. So just accumulate, guys. Don't. The good thing is Bitcoin is bullish. If you remember like what happened, I said it in the Telegram group, right? You remember what happened back in October 2017, right, when XRP went up like 38 cents after that meeting. Like I forgot what it was again, October, something like that. And then right after that meeting, I think like the snow whatever, I forgot the name, blah blah blah, I forgot the name. So XRP dropped like what, to 25 or 18 cents, I can't remember. It dropped back to like, you know, just about like 25 cents, and then went up to 3 cents. I mean $3.50 to $3.75. So just about a month, right? The first week of December to like first week of January. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. And the next XRP move gonna be like very explosive. You know, I keep saying it. When I say BTC gonna be very explosive, we got a drop, and then everybody was, not everybody, but some people, who don't understand the market, was kind of saying like, right after your video, BTC is dumping. So just because I said like XRP gonna be explosive and XRP is still dumping, doesn't mean like that, big move not coming. So, and it is not dumping hard. It's just, moving sideways on the dollar value. It is just dumping versus BTC, which is bad, but at the same time, we still got big support just about this area. So that's the most hopeful support we got. So that's the most hopeful support we got. Let's take a look at the lower time frame. The lower time frame, it is starting to build up some divergence, but this divergence is not strong enough, guys. This move is too wide, so you gotta keep that in mind. So it doesn't have enough strength, so this move is too wide. Just about, it's too wide. So on the 4 hour, so I would love to see a small divergence like that, like a big momentum to the upside. So but this move is too wide, so it doesn't mean like we're not gonna push back to the upside, move sideways and drop, because we're not just gonna get a straight line. I keep saying it, it's not gonna get a straight line. It's not going to be a straight line. So but this divergence is too big for reversal right now, unless we get big volume, unless we receive like big volume. So the best thing to do for XRP, guys, I believe like is to like wait for the biggest weekly candle, the biggest weekly volume, right? That's what you need to look for, a big weekly volume, like 1.3 to, not 1.3, on average 1.3, something like that, 1.5, right, billion dollar volumes, and you can be very confident. But every time you get 1.3 billion, you get back to 36 cents and then drop back. 1.3, 36 billion, I mean 1.3, 36 cents, drop back to 30 cents. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. But XRP gonna pick up at least, right? Let's move on to Ethereum. Enough of XRP. Ethereum BTC. You take a look at Ethereum, right? So we hit our target just about this area, and then it double bottom. Not a double bottom, but came back down to this area, but it is not holding strong. And then we said like Ethereum need to hold strong just about this area. So we got a nice fake out to the downside, big support, on the lower time frame, right? So that was last night actually. We got this big support, all to receive this big volume for some reason. Like all of them, not all of them, but most of them received this big volume. Even NEO got this big volume, ADA and all of them. So they got this big support from this area. So we just have to get back to this area. If not, even though Ethereum is like 7% down, I mean 7% up, you have to understand what's going on. It's not like Ethereum is up, Ethereum is still down. It's just like BTC is so much, BTC is up so much, right? Even if Ethereum like, go against BTC like just a little bit, right? Not even like, not even like 1%, it does seem like Ethereum is up, but Ethereum is not up. It's because of BTC, Ethereum is up. So you have to understand that. You have to understand the 3D connection between BTC, altcoin, right? And altcoin, US dollar. So you have to understand it. So don't be happy because like Ethereum is up 7%, because it can be red tomorrow like 10%. So keep that in mind if BTC keep going up. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin is looking strong. Target is 0.015 BTC, but we got to receive a big move to the upside last night. So I'm starting to turn bullish on Litecoin if Litecoin is able to break this area. Just about .04. If Litecoin is able to break this area, I'm gonna start to be extremely bullish on Litecoin. But otherwise, I'm still looking for this .01. I'm not gonna be in rush. I'm still gonna be looking for .01. It doesn't mean like the dollar value of Litecoin gonna be dropping, like I said, right? It's the BTC value. The BTC value of Litecoin going to be dropping, so it's different. So you gotta keep that in mind, because this BTC value can be dropping slowly and BTC going up fast. You know, the dollar value of Litecoin still going to be going up. So, or at least staying constant, like 1 to 2. I mean, plus minus 2% in that range, depending on the, how BTC goes, how fast BTC goes up, and how fast Litecoin drop versus BTC. So you gotta keep that in mind. So it is a 3D connection. So you have to keep all of that into account, right? So it is looking great, but we have to break this area because we got a corrective move just about this area. I keep saying it. So we got this corrective move just about this area, and it is not a reversal pattern. We got this corrective move just about this area. Let me just remove everything. No, I don't need to. Yeah, let's remove it. Okay, you got a corrective move just about this area, so don't get too excited, right? Got a corrective move just about this area, a retest of this move. So it is most likely a fake out, but if like we break it, I'm gonna be bullish, right? I'm gonna be bullish for the short term and see where we're going. If not, I'm just looking for the .011, so which is like another 20% drop. So it does not look good at all. It doesn't look good at all for Litecoin. So we have to break this area. Keep that in mind. Let's take a look at Litecoin and USD. Litecoin USD, we got a 3-wave move. You see, like I was talking about, like that 5-wave move, right? I think it was Bitcoin Cash versus the dollar, right? So Litecoin is giving you 3 waves. Most people are going to be trying to count 5, like, oh, it's going to come back down here and then it's going to give you 5 waves. I don't think it's going to give us 5 waves. So if like we don't, but if, let's say you don't get 5 waves, the most probable scenario is Litecoin to drop further, drop further to the low 60s in that range, right? Get a support from this area. So, but most people are going to tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then now that's the bottom, because Litecoin probably came back down to point. Let's see, because I use most of the time done. I know what I got all of this for, because that's BTC. So I mean Litecoin USD on Bitcoin. I mean on Coinbase, not Bitcoin. That's a lower time frame. All right, let's get a clean chart. All right. So it is the same exact move, right? It is the same exact move as Bitcoin Cash. So you take a look at Bitcoin Cash, it is giving us a 3-wave move to the upside. So don't try to count 5. So it's not 5-wave out there. So you take a look at the entire move. It is just about 382. So we also talked about it, like the 382, and then the 50 MA. Every time you see your 50 MA coming across this fib level and price coming back to it, most likely you're gonna get a reversal pattern. So that's what I'm anticipating. We're getting this reversal pattern, and I'm looking for like a $60 Litecoin. So it is nothing but you got this 3-way move to the downside, just like that. So it's nothing but could also get this 3, come back down, get another 3 just about this area, and come back even like further, like to a 54, 55. So keep that in mind. Hey, what's up, Bobby Crypto? I already talked about BTC. If you missed the beginning of the live stream, I'm gonna finish up this live stream with BTC also. So, and then we're gonna review what we talked about. So keep that in mind. All right, guys. So you guys don't have any other market you want to take a look at before I move back to BTC? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at WANCHAIN, and then we're going to go to BTC, and then we're going to call it a day. When you take a look at WANCHAIN is making a new low. The other day we got a big move to the upside. I was anticipating a flag, right? This flag right here, but WANCHAIN just decided to push back to the downside. So we got this big move. You know, I believe that was this move, right? So we were trying to get a flag, but you know, that's why I say wait for a flag. You know, before a push to the upside. But we didn't even get a flag, so it is good to wait for a confirmation. So it is always good to wait for confirmation, because if you miss this move, right, let's say you want accumulating WANCHAIN, like when we get this you know, big sell-off, you've been accumulating 5% at a time, and then all of a sudden you get back to this area, and then you want to jump in. It's not good at all. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. So it's not healthy at all. So I think like WANCHAIN, we just have to wait. We're getting this divergence, right? So, but price is not giving us a good indication of reversal pattern. So we could come back down to this area, you know, just like they play with it, you know, playing with this falling wedge, you know, all of a sudden we're going to reverse, but it is not giving us a reversal pattern. So that's the best reversal pattern we got, was this move, and then we missed it. So we got rejection by this 100 EMA, so we missed that pattern. So let's see how far we're going to come back down, or you know, how fast this RSI going to give us a divergence, at least for the short term. So let's move on to NEBLIO and then BTC. You take a look at NEBLIO. I just changed the screen. NEBLIO is giving you the same exact pattern as WANCHAIN, right? So I just switched the screen, right? So you just ask about NEBLIO. You take a look at it, same exact pattern. So a flat correction just about this area, push to the downside, a big rejection. So now it is coming back down. So let's see if NEBLIO are going to be able to stay within this channel, you know, and then get to this area of support. BTC is pretty strong, and if BTC decides to drop, most of this alt, they're going to drop also, right? BTC has to stay sideways for this alt to make a move to the upside. So we got to keep that in mind. The next area of support is just about this area. So the previous low, like a November 18, 2018 low, right? So November 2018 low, which is just about like 2175, right? On Binance, right? The last 4 decimals. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term, 2165 to 2170, in that range. So let's go back to BTC very shortly, and then wrap it up. Hopefully BTC is not at 6K. So it is 57 or 61. If you follow our Telegram group, we already talked about this, and then just about 8 p.m. I was waiting for the 8 p.m. candle to close. I was expecting the 8 p.m. candle to close like 57.50 plus minus 60. It means, like, I was expecting the that hourly candle, not daily, but the hourly candle, the 12-hour candle, the last hour of the 12-hour candle, which was 8 p.m., right? 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., right? Not p.m., a.m. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., right? So in the morning. So, and I said, like, I'm expecting BTC to close either, right, before 8 a.m., right? I'm expecting BTC to close, either at a 58.10 at or above 58.10, right? That'd be very bullish, if we close above 58.10 at 8 a.m., right? Or like, let's say we close below like a 57.10, it'll be like extremely like bullish for the short term. But BTC ended up closing just about like 57.50, right? 57.75 to 57.60, in that range. So that's why we're getting this flat correction, and I said, like, we're most likely going to be moving sideways the next 6 to 10 hours, and that's what we're getting, right? So we're moving sideways, even though BTC pushed back up to like 58.40, got rejection, pushing back down. Now we're moving to the upside again. So, and then we just talked about the 45 minutes. Like, when I started the live stream, I said, like, let's say BTC gonna attempt to get to a 58.40, right? But let's say we don't get to 58.40, it is time, you know, to look for support to the downside. And the next probable area of support right now is the 50 MA on the 45 minutes time frame, which is just about 5600, right? So it is currently at 5600. So you're looking at another 2.5% drop, right, from BTC, and then everybody gonna be calling for a dump. So keep that in mind, right? So we're looking for this flat correction. If it fails, you know, support 5600, because, you know, let's just remove everything, because if you go to the lower time frame, right, you can see all these moves, right? I just don't want to make the live stream too long, but you go back to the you got your 3 wave, move to the upside, you got another three, right? So that's the correction is just about this area. You can expect like you can say a WXY, or you can say a flat correction. But if this flat correction fails just about this area, right, that would be this what you would be getting, right? A flat correction just by, if it failed, we just have to drop back. We just have to drop. So we just have to drop. Okay, we just have to drop. So you can anticipate the price just about like on the 15 minutes chart if you're day trading, support from 5670, you know, a slight, you know, 1% to the upside before further sell out. But if you like extremely careful, you wait for a lower price. So I said it last time, it is not, you know, somebody asked like to be buying BTC. I say like it is not good time to be buying right now. So wait for it, you know. If you don't care about like 3%, 4% drop, you know, you still can buy at 5800. But you see the 15 minutes chart is not looking nice, right? It's not looking nice. So the best possible scenario is like to wait for the 45 minutes to touch down just about this area for 30, you know, 30. So I'll say it at the starting of the live stream. So you see what we're getting. So even like I'm not getting what I'm anticipating, but I had a plan B. Like, you know, that's why it's good to wait for confirmation and have your plan in place. So big dodgy, big rejection just about this area. So you got a rejection, so it's not looking good at all. But double support, most likely we're gonna break it. So I'm pretty bullish on BTC. So if I say like BTC gonna drop, it's because like I'm seeing some bearish momentum on a lower time frame, but it doesn't change anything on the bigger picture. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change my bullishness on BTC on the bigger picture. It doesn't change my bullishness. It doesn't change anything about my bullishness. BTC is extremely bullish, guys. It is extremely bullish. I've been saying it since, you know, BTC was hey, what's up, Alam? Hey, Sen. Yes, that's what I'm expecting. Like the at some point, right? The let's go back to a Bitstamp, because that's a very interesting question about the weekly and then let me just remove everything. I like to get a clean chart. Stochastic. Okay, you take a look at the stochastic, right? So remember, right, every time the stochastic like get to 100, we get a slight bump to the downside, right? We keep saying it, right? I don't know if you remember, like the last 2 weeks when everybody was like, oh, the stochastic was so high. That was like that was like April. So I was like, you know, BTC is extremely bullish. So everybody was looking for this to drop, man. Look at it. It's been like almost what, March, April, May, almost 2 months, man. It's 2 months. So it is at some point we're gonna get separation, because these two lines cannot be, you know, so attractive to one another just like that forever. So at some point we're gonna, you know, get, you know, it's a separation. It might be like a 2-3 week separation, and then, you know, price gonna get back to the upside. It doesn't mean like BTC going to be dropping. It only means like the price of BTC either going to be moving sideways, or, you know, the price gonna have like low volatility and dropping slowly. It doesn't mean like a sell-off. But most people are anticipating like a sell-off, because the market is so volatile. You know, we are so used to too much volatility, we don't think like in 2 to 3% range. We only think of like in 15 to 20% move. So even if you watch all my live stream, you don't ever hear me say like a 2%, 3%. I always say like 10 to 15%, because that's a normal tolerance for the market, you know, to move like a 15 to 20%. It is pretty normal. So I'm expecting this at some point, right? This stochastic outside, right, gonna be sliding just like that. But if like we on the bull market, let's say the bull market has already started, right, I don't see like the stochastic to come back down anytime this area. You know, that's like, you know, retesting you know, low 4K, 3K, even 2Ks, right? You got to keep that in mind. You go back to the monthly. Like let's say if we go back to the monthly, right? So if you go back to the monthly, I say the monthly is extremely bullish. We're gonna get a slight bump, right? This slight bump on the monthly, I don't know which month it is going to be, but we're gonna get it, right? Just like this, you know, we're gonna get it at some point, right? We're gonna get it. So this slight bump, right, gonna create like some noise on the weekly R side. I say noise, right? It's gonna create some noise and some, you know, some FUD, right? And then the weekly R side gonna be like this, right? You know, but I don't see like this weekly R side to come back down to this area, man. It means like we're gonna be on the bear market for another 18 months. So we're gonna be on the bear market for another 18 months. So keep that in mind. So you take a look at it. It took like, you know, how long it took the weekly stochastic, like from first week of December, right, to like first week of May. You know, we still in this range. Right? That's almost like 6 months, right? 5 months, right? So if it has to drop another 5 months, have to get back up, you know, to that area. You don't know how long it's gonna stay in this range, right? And then get back to that area. So it's almost a year, guys. So it's almost a year. So, but the worst scenario I see, like, you know, coming back down to 75. That's the worst case scenario I see. And then we're gonna get a big momentum. So I don't like to talk about the stochastic because, you know, it is so complicated. It is not complicated, but you have to look at all scenarios. So at least monthly, weekly, or even the 4-hour time frame. So the 4-hour time frame, it is about time to now, you know, you see, like, if you just base your judgment based on the stochastic, you would be selling, getting out, getting in, getting out. So it's too much noise. So you know, just use your R side. But, you know, it is time to probably get to the downside now. So this one probably is the final move on the 4-hour time frame. Then we're gonna get back to this area and then reverse. So you know, I think I already answered your question about your second question about, you know, the stochastic cooling down to lower level. Is going to take at least, guys, another 10 months, guys, depending on volatilities also, because I cannot just say 10 months just like that, but depend also on volatility. It is depend on volatility, you know. It could take like up to like 10 months according to the stochastic I just showed you. It took us 5 months to get to that area. So it's, you know, could take us like 3 months to get back to the lower level, another 5 months to get back to that area. So keep that in mind. And then altcoin has not started the bull market, so it means, like, you know, BTC gonna be in that range for at least another, you know, for altcoin at least to get like a 3 to 1 months of bullishness before BTC drop to the downside. So we got plenty of time, guys. We got plenty of time. So we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time, guys. Hey, what's up, HR? Thank you for tuning in, man. All right, guys. I think you guys don't have any other questions, so I guess we just call it a day since you guys don't have any market you guys want to review. So all right. Hey, you welcome, Vet.